Listen, it's real fresh for me to come here and tell you I'm going to be reading all of these books when, like, God knows if I will, but content, I guess. And also, I really hope that I will be reading them. Hello, and welcome to a new video. My name is Smriti, and if you're new on this channel, hi, hello, how are you? I like to talk about books here, and today I'm going to be talking to you not about the books that I have already read, though there is a video coming about that soon, but about the books that I plan to read in the month of April. And while I don't usually do this, it is April and it is the month of Lit with Indian Lit, which is a readathon that I sort of like run and I have been running for the past 6 years. It's basically all about reading translated Indian literature, and it is really important to me. Okay, so I thought that I would just come on here and talk to you about the books that I plan to read. It's on like my pile of possibilities, though some are just like non-negotiable. But yeah, that's the idea. And then like maybe you would get inspired, maybe you will tell me what you're reading as well, and that gets me inspired. So yeah, like in the comments, just tell me what you're reading, and if you're participating in Lit with Indian Lit, I will link you to the video where I did this whole announcement, and also it has a bunch of other videos which I have put up already, which talk about some of my recommendations. And there are a lot of other videos that are going to be coming up in this month when I'm going to like give you Indian literature recommendations, because that's what it's all about in this house. Woo! Anyway, not just Lit with Indian Lit, I'm doing a bunch of other things as well, because there's a lot happening in this world and I have FOMO and I just want to participate in basically everything. So let's start with the Lit with Indian Lit pile of possibilities that I have, and then move on from there and tell you what all I have planned for this month. So if you have been following Lit with Indian Lit and you watched that video that I told you to watch where I made an announcement, you know that I have 3 prompts. The first prompt is to read a book that you have been putting off for a while, and for that I have this book, which is Karaku by Bama. This is translated from Tamil by Lakshmi Holstrom, and I have been putting this on my Lit with Indian Lit TBR for like at least 3 years now and haven't gone to it, even though it's a really thin book. This is a book by Bama, who is a Dalit activist, and this was the first ever memoir written by a Dalit woman. So she basically switched from Hinduism to Christianity, but she talks about like her journey, and I've heard absolutely amazing things about this one. So this is the year that I finally read it. It is literally like 144 pages. So like, I mean, I have to do it. And if I don't read it this year, like, you guys have all the permission in the world to just like hit me. Okay, just like hit me. It's fine. I'm totally fine with it. Like, just be like, Smriti, have you read Bama Karakus? And I'll be like, no. And then you'll be like, fuck. And I'll be like, oh no, okay. Yes. Anyway, that is for the first prompt. For the second prompt, oh no, I have another book for the first prompt, and that is this really fun book called Yajna Seni, which is the story of Draupadi told by Pratibha Ray and translated by Pradeep Bhattacharya. This is translated from like Odia, I think, and this is a book that I've been wanting to read for a really long period of time, because I really like reading books from like a woman's perspective, especially of the epic tales that we have. So like the Ramayana, and this is the Mahabharata. So I've read quite a few of these, and I would really love to see what Pratibha Ray has to offer. And everyone who's read this book has really wonderful things to say about it. So I'm excited to finally get started on this book. Now, the second prompt is an award-winning book or author, and for that, I thought I would choose Tomb of Sand, because this is another book that I have been planning to read for a very long period of time and just not done it. Now, Tomb of Sand by Gitanjali Shree, translated from Hindi by Daisy Rockwell, is a book that won the International Booker Prize last year, and I'm just like, I started reading this. I mean, everyone knows this, but I started reading this last year when I got COVID, like, and then I mean I started reading it last year and then I got COVID. So I'm about 230 pages in. You can see the bookmark right here, and I haven't finished it. So I'm gonna have to start reading this again. And I think I'm gonna have to start from the beginning because, well, it's been a while. So I'm just really excited to read this book. I know a lot of other people are also really excited to read it. So if you are one of them, then you can DM me on Instagram, because I've created like an Instagram reading group sort of thingy, where we can discuss this book as we read it. So yeah, I think that'll be fun. And if you plan to read this as well, then I do hope that like you join us in that discussion. But yeah, I'm really excited. And just by the way, there is going to be some fun stuff with regards to this book coming up on this channel, and I can't wait to show you guys. And then the third prompt is read a book from a language that you have either never read from before or hardly read from. And for this I'm going to choose this, which is Dogri Folk Tales by Shivanath. And this is basically a book that talks about Dogri folk tales. Now, the people who are Dogri are from Jammu and Kashmir, which is technically where my dad's side of the family is from. And I don't know much about that area per se. And I just really want to read this. It's been a while that I've had this on my bookshelf, and I am hoping that it provides some insight, but also like makes me feel a little more connected to the place that like my paternal side of the family is from and stuff. So yeah, that's the idea behind Dogri folk tales. And that sort of concludes the three prompts. But I have two other books that are on my sort of list that I really want to read. Now, this is a book called Hats and Doctors by Upendranath Ashk, and it is translated by Daisy Rockwell again. And this is a collection of short stories that are like satirical and like sort of comedic. And I love that sort of stuff. I just love that sort of writing. And Upendranath Ashk is a really famous Hindi writer, and I've heard absolutely amazing things about him. So I really hope to read this book and like understand what that hype is about, but also like get a few giggles along the way. I think that's the idea. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. And the another one that I picked up is The Bombay Quartet by Dilip Chitre, translated by Jayant Deshpande from Marathi. And this is like set in the city that I live in, and it's four novellas that like span people in Bombay from like the 1960s and 1980s. And again, just as how I wanted to read Dogri folk tales to get to understand more about like my families and all of that sort of stuff, this is just to get to understand the place that I live. I just think that it'll be really fascinating. And Dilip Chitre is a person who I have heard lots and lots about, but I have never read from him before. So I'm really excited to like finally get into this. So yeah, the Bombay Quartet is what I also plan to read. So those are the all the books that I hope to read for Lit with Indian Lit. Let us see how successful I actually am. Apart from Lit with Indian Lit, which I think is a very important readathon, there is an actual really important readathon that is happening in April, which is Trans Girl April, and it's a readathon that is started by a bunch of people to promote reading books by trans people. And I will link you to all of the people who have started it and like a bunch of other videos, which I think is really amazing. But I thought that I would read this book, which is A Small Step in a Long Journey by Akai Padmashali. And this is a book by Akai Padmashali, obviously. And she is trans, and she is a trans activist in India. And I thought that it would be really good to understand her thoughts and just like understand what it is like in like the landscape that is with Indian politics and like culture with regards to like being trans and like transness in general. This just released from Zuban Publishers, and I absolutely trust Zuban with like my life. I think that they are absolutely wonderful and I love everything that they publish. So I am really looking forward to reading this memoir and understanding more about this life that Akai Padmashali has sort of lived. So that is my one book that I plan to read for Trans Girl April. If I have time, then I will read more. There are lots others that I want to read, like Peter Darling by Osman Chan or Freshwater by Okweke Ameze, and like just a bunch of stuff that I have on my shelf that I've been meaning to read for a while. But I know that I haven't been reading much this year, so like this is my one book that I definitely want to read, and plus it's Indian, so it goes with Lit with Indian Lit as well. So now on to the other things that I plan to read in this month. I was supposed to finish a couple of books last month, which I didn't. But yeah, so they kind of move into this month because I am still doing a video where I'm reading Indian thrillers and mysteries by Indian authors. So I am still in the middle of Age of Vice by Deepthi Kapoor. This is a book that is sort of like world renowned now because this was a big push by like Penguin Random House in like abroad in the US, etc. And this is a big book by Juggernaut in India here. And I am like about 200 plus pages in, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a really good book so far. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying it, and stay tuned to check out that video. But another book that I plan to read is this one, which is Black River by Nilanjana S. Roy. And this is again a thriller that is set in the same space that Age of Vice is set in, which is in India, in like the in Delhi and in like UP, and it follows like different people trying to I don't want to know what is going to happen in this. I can tell you, but like I think you should just go into it blind, because also I'm a little confused, and it's like stories come. It's fine, okay, it's fine. But yeah, this is what I plan to read as well. Nilanjana S. Roy is a prolific writer, and this is, I think, her first thriller. I'm not too sure, but it says Nilanjana turns the police procedural into a gritty, compelling Delhi noir. So yeah, that sounds promising, and I trust again Context Books, which are the people who have published this. So yeah, so that's that. And then over and above this, because I don't know, I'm just being very ambitious this April apparently. But I plan to also read the entire Booker International shortlist. That shortlist isn't out yet, so I don't know what those 5 books are going to be. But hopefully, I read them and tell you about them, because I really think that, like, I don't know, it's just like the translated is like a thing which is very close to me. Okay, I don't know, that didn't make sense like in English, but you get the vibe, right? So that's it for the video today. If you are participating in any of these readathons or just general, let me know what you are reading down in my comments. If you don't have anything to comment, you can give me any heart emoji just for fun, just to know that you are here and you watched, and it will increase my engagement, because that's what we want here. Okay, we want to help like a sister out. That's what you can do. But that's all for now. I hope that you all are doing super duper well and are good in this April. What am I saying? I don't know. Okay, bye.